This week on Great British Menu, 3 of Central Region's top chefs are putting their reputations on the line. Daniel Smith, a focused and competitive chef.
My biggest gadget is this bad boy here.
Andrew Scott, whose food is about flavour and finesse.
So I've got to really run around like an idiot.
And daring and innovative Danny Gill.
Big bust.
In the year of the Queen's 90th birthday, the chefs are celebrating the everyday Great Britain's honoured throughout her reign and competing for the chance to cook for them at an historic banquet at the Palace of Westminster. One course in and Daniel and Danny are out in front, both scoring 7 for their starters, with Andrew just 1 point behind.
And you can all do a lot better than you did today.
For today's fish course, the chefs are all desperate to better their scores.
Is it going to smash my dish out of the park? So I'm going to say yes to that.
The pressure's on Andrew not to slip further behind.
This is like the hardest dish I've ever done in my life.
But Daniel and Danny are both determined to top the leaderboard.
I'm getting there, I'm winning.
I'm here to get this to the banquet.
The competition is heating up.
Come on, baby, come on, baby.
Should either love it or hate it, I suppose.
The pressure in the kitchen is ridiculous.
The chefs are competing to create dishes that are a fitting legacy to our modern Elizabethan age, and a celebration of the complete transformation of British cuisine during the Queen's historic reign. Judging these dishes for innovative and contemporary cooking is veteran Angela Hartnett. An MBE herself, she's expecting excellence.
This is a banquet for Great Britons, you know, they've got to cook some amazing food. I really want to be giving out 10s for this fish course.
Angela, she's a tough cookie. Yeah, I think, all the scores that we got for our starters, I think maybe she's looking for a little bit more from us. I'm going to push myself to try and get those scores a little bit higher. What about you, Daniel?
Mine is super simple. I'm just going to have to deliver. I'm going to have to show off what I do.
I have to make sure mine's not safe. I have to really go for it.
First is Danny Gill. His starter showcased one too many ingredients and techniques for Angela, but undeterred, he's risking another complex reinvention of a classic dish.
I'm really confident about my fish course. There's an awful lot going on, so hopefully I can put it all together.
Hi, Danny. How
Hello,
are you?
Chef.
You all right?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good to see you. Wow, this looks lovely.
Yeah.
So what's the name of your dish?
The title of this dish is called Modern Tradition.
Right.
I've got fond memories when I was younger, smoked salmon, cucumber and cream cheese.
Yeah.
I wanted to do an interpretation that no one's ever seen before.
So what's the components of your dish? What are the interpretations?
So I've got some beautiful oak smoked salmon here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be making a mousse.
Yeah.
Out of this, and also making a crumb, gives it a really nice texture.
Okay, then the whole fresh salmon?
Yeah, I've got this beautiful, sustainable farm salmon. Got some lovely caviars, so just a little bit of luxury with it being a banquet.
And just nice sort of, you've got some dill, cucumber, lemons, apple, all work well really with salmon, don't they?
Exactly. There's a consommé with the cucumbers, some different pickles, just nice sharpness to the dish, and then a lovely, rich, aerated cream cheese. I want a little bit of surprise, an element of fun, an element of adventure as you're eating it. I want to show lots of different variations and techniques that I've used to produce a fantastic dish.
Just pack flavour in and you'll be fine. I like his twist that it's a traditional English thing, cucumber and salmon, and now he's basically going to put his modern element on it. The only thing is he needs to just make sure it comes together as a dish and it's packed full of flavour.
Next is Andrew Scott. Angela felt his classic starter was a bit safe, and it left him trailing the other chefs by a point. But he's confident his fish dish will help him catch up.
We can't be deflated after the first score. We're all in the same kitchen, all cooking in the same environment, so dish is strong, it nails the brief. Hopefully I can win her over.
Hi Andrew, how are you?
Good, thank you, Chef. You?
Good to see you.
And you?
What's the dish? This looks all very exciting.
It's crabbing the headlines.
Yeah.
So it's a coronation crab dish. Based on the Queen's coronation being filmed. So it's like 27 million people watched it out of a population of sort of 36 million.
Jeepers.
So, the dish is a play on coronation chicken, which is...
something similar to what Danny did.
I've got apricot snow mango, which is a bit more traditional.
Okay.
But I've gone different with the crab.
So what are you doing with the crab?
Basically going to be making a brown crab biscuit and a brown crab panna cotta. white meat's going to be picked and dressed.
And what are you doing with the almonds?
The almonds get roasted and then blitzed. It sort of makes like a mayonnaise texture, but it means that the almonds run through the whole dish.
Well, I've never seen that.
Yeah, stud it with apricots and the raisins and the curry flavour as well.
And obviously my lovely coriander.
I've got your famous coriander.
Don't worry, it doesn't mark against you. Okay, are you feeling confident?
Full of energy, ready to go again, so yeah.
One of my favourite ingredients, crab, so good luck. I think it sounds really interesting. If you're smart and you leave the white crab meat to speak for itself, just enhance it with a bit of seasoning, you know, you don't want to kill that flavour.
Last is Daniel Smith. Like Danny, he scored a solid 7 for his starter. Today, he's aiming to build on his score and pull away from his rival.
Joint leader at the moment, but maybe not for long. Done my preparation, let's just hope I deliver.
You okay, Daniel?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. What's the name of your dish for your fish course?
Above and Beyond. My inspiration's been driven by Case the Lifeboat, and that's my home village.
Okay, nice.
And their motto is Case the Men, Never Turn Back. These guys have got a voluntary award from the Queen in 2012, and as you can imagine, they're lifeboat men, and so they go above and beyond.
And what's going to be on above and beyond?
Well,
Tell me about the dish.
I have some potato risotto.
Okay.
Made from potato.
Okay, so the starch in the potatoes
Correct,
will
yeah.
hold it all together.
100%.
Okay. So what are you doing with this lovely lobster here?
Yeah,
then?
I'm going to just cook that very quickly.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the head to make a bisque.
Yeah.
It's a really rich sauce. That's going to go around it as a sauce to really enhance the flavour in the dish.
And what are you using with this samphire?
So the samphire, again, this is a luxury that I have within our region. I'm going to be also making like a cheese custard.
Right.
And this is finished with some really nice white crab meat too.
Right.
That's been picked through. Again, chroma crab, so it's, in my eyes, it's the best.
He's doing crab.
My crab's Cornish.
Cornish crab, okay.
Cornish crab, yeah.
All right.
Battle of the crabs.
And how are you feeling against these two?
I've got to deliver. It's all there to be proven, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to tasting some fantastic fish dishes. So Daniel's above and beyond. Cheese custard, I'm interested to see how that's going to work in the whole dish. He just needs to make sure he doesn't overcook those potatoes. He'll just end up with potato soup.
The chefs start cooking, and it's not just Danny who's opted to use many different ingredients and techniques.
You two look a little bit busier than you did for your start. You got a bit more to do today?
Yeah.
Plenty. I've got to really run around like an idiot.
I've got a little bit more to do because it's integral. I get this bisque reduced. How many bits have we got on this? It's 300 or?
No. This, same as before, really. Some serious flavour going on in the kitchen today. I think everybody wants to get at least an 8.
Danny is filleting his salmon and using smoked salmon to make a mousse for his reinvention of the great British classic combination: salmon with cucumber and cream cheese.
I'm here to get a dish to the banquet, and I want to make sure I make a good account of myself.
Danny executed his technical starter well, but Angela felt the many elements didn't come together as a complete course. Hoping to take the lead, he's risking another complex dish, including a tricky aerated cream cheese.
Got saying prayers for me.
It's essential that he creates lots of air bubbles, so it remains light and airy while it sets in the blast chiller.
Come on, baby.
Look pretty interesting.
So basically, this is a vacuum pack, and it's taking all the air out of this container, so it's nice and light.
Cool. Definitely crazy.
Andrew is also pushing himself. After playing it too safe with his starter, he's hoping innovative touches will hit the brief today. He's making a curry and almond emulsion for his coronation crab.
Angela said she'd never seen it before, so the oils will emulsify with the water and make a really nice, smooth puree or emulsion.
But he's run into problems with his brown crab biscuits.
It's cooked too harsh in the oven, and I'm not happy with it. It's too thick. It's been blown around.
As he's trailing behind Danny and Daniel, Andrew has no choice but to start the biscuits again.
The pressure in the kitchen is ridiculous, and I don't want any point stop for anything at all. So it needs to be perfect.
For Daniel's crab and lobster dish, honouring his local lifeboat team, he's putting a twist on a classic risotto.
So how do you think Angela will take substituting potato for risotto rice, because she does Italian roots?
Rice isn't British, so I'm representing my dish in my British way. You should either love it or hate it, I suppose. For me, everyone I've ever cooked for it and given it to them, I've loved it.
Angela felt the flavours of Daniel's starter weren't strong enough. Today, he's hoping a powerful lobster bisque and cheese custard will complement his risotto and appeal to her taste buds.
Is that your potato?
Yeah.
So it's all raw, it's cooked?
No, that's been blanched. That's just brought up to the boil and then refreshed.
Yeah.
And then obviously the starch will come out in the reduced stock.
Right,
When that crab
okay.
hits it, it really, really changes its texture.
So what do you do with those lemons?
That's now going to be blitzed with some stock syrup.
Right.
And that'll just make a really nice puree. Rather than me just squeezing lemon juice over the lobster,
Yeah.
I'm using that as a little bit of sweetness. And then I've got my custard in here.
Ah, so when I thought of a custard, I thought it'd be like a little baked custard. I was quite
No,
curious.
no, it's just sauce.
Okay, good luck. Looking forward to tasting
Thank
this. I imagined a little cooked custard, but instead it's basically like a bit like a cream cheese sauce, you know, so that could overpower the flavour of the lobster.
Andrew is making an apricot gel for his coronation dish, similar to one element of Danny's starter.
Is it going to smash my dish out of the park?
You're going to have to say yes to that.
That's fighting talk.
His modern take on the classic dish must be banquet-worthy to honour the Queen's Great Britons.
After Angela's comments about mine not being spicy enough, you're going to up your spices?
Yeah, I haven't got any chilli in mine. The flavour will be a bit milder, I suppose, a bit more curry-esque.
Yeah.
Andrew wants his dish to be fit for those Britons honoured by the Queen, people like Kamal Hanif, OBE. Kamal's day job is executive head teacher of Waverley School in Birmingham, but he likes to moonlight as a school cook as well.
Andrew, this is my tandoori mix, so yogurt, chicken, yeah, bit of salt, chilli flakes. More chilli. It smells lovely, doesn't it? I love it.
Because of his love of food, twice a year Kamal cooks for the whole school. His speciality is the Kashmiri food of his family.
Really good. Some tasty onions. A bit hot for me, but still good. Really nice.
Yeah, I've tried his dishes around 2-3 times and it's really nice. Yeah, it's worth it.
I think it's cool the fact that he actually makes it and he actually serves it to us too.
A lot of head teachers would do something like that.
Yeah.
Kamal's relationship with the school is long-standing.
When I came to the school as head teacher in 2005, it was quite a surreal experience because it was actually my old school. So most of the senior team were actually my ex-teachers. The school had faced difficulties for a number of years. Locally, it didn't have a very good reputation, and I felt really sad about that.
Over the years, Kamal and his team have turned the school around. It's now classed as outstanding by Ofsted. Kamal's efforts were rewarded in 2012 with an OBE for his services to education.
It was a very, very special day, and for me, I think what was most special was seeing my parents so proud. Yeah, and my parents came over from Kashmir in the 50s. For them to even think about actually being able to go to Buckingham Palace, but then to see their son achieving an award was an absolutely amazing event.
As one of the Queen's Great Britons, Andrew was keen to get Kamal's opinion on his spiced coronation sauce.
What I'm trying to do is get the almonds running through the whole thing. That's really nice. Yeah, you can taste the slightly roasted almonds. Yeah. Cool. Got a thumbs up.
I think we're like special students to have our executive headmaster cooking for us and serving.
You know, our head teacher's one of the best people in the world. So.
In the kitchen, Andrew's hoping his second batch of brown crab biscuits is going to be perfect.
How they looking? Yeah, about that.
This is like the hardest dish I've ever done in my life.
He's juggling lots of cooking techniques for his crab coronation dish. As his panna cotta sets, he picks the white crab meat, which will be dressed with his sauce.
Hey Andrew, how are you?
All going to plan. I'm just
Yeah.
up against it for time. Picking the crab down. Fruit steeped,
What have you steeped in?
ginger wine and apple juice.
Okay, right.
So yeah, just to get a bit more of that ginger sort of curry
So what-
flavour, Indian flavouring. It's
Yeah.
a cold dish, but I just need to
Yeah.
get everything cooked, chilled.
So you're feeling the pressure today more?
Yeah, a lot more today. I want to beat these two guys.
Good luck with it.
Thank you, chef.
Daniel has lightly poached the lobster for his potato risotto.
Cooked nicely.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with those, yeah.
It's a simpler dish than his rivals, but he hopes attention to the brief and use of Norfolk ingredients will be enough to pull his score away from joint leader Danny.
I'm getting there, I'm winning. Yeah, I think this dish, though, hits the brief totally, and I'm fully comfortable with that. Just because I'm not running around doesn't mean I'm not going to pack a punch.
Danny is racing to finish the many elements of his modern tradition, salmon and cucumber dish. Brioche discs are in the oven, and he's finishing his pickled cucumber. And tricky cucumber consomme. He's relying on some high-tech equipment to win him the points.
My biggest gadget is this bad boy here,
Yeah.
whereas I know your big gadget is that washing machine over there.
we've been asked to go above and beyond. So I brought in some toys, and if they work for me, brilliant. If they don't, you know, it's back to the drawing board.
Hey, Danny?
Yeah, cucumber's been blended.
Yeah.
Passed it off, so all that's left is the juice. It then goes into the evaporator, spins at about 4,500 RPM. While it's spinning, all the evaporation is then being taken out of the canister through here.
And you keep that, or you
No,
get rid of that?
this is what goes.
That's what, oh, right.
And then what's inside is a really concentrated cucumber juice.
So that's going to be full of flavour. I'm looking forward to tasting it.
Andrew is first to plate up his coronation crab dish. Crab panna cotta sits on top of his problematic brown crab biscuits.
Biscuits looking good, yeah. Big relief.
Next is white crab meat dressed with curry and almond emulsion, apricots and raisins. Andrew starts his plate with the apricot gel and tops with the crab tower.
That's beautiful. Cheers, mate.
More apricots and raisins garnish the plate.
It's been steeped in apple juice and ginger wine.
He finishes the dish with more apricot gel, almond and curry emulsion, and celery and coriander cress.
There we go. It's a relief.
A relief?
Yeah. That was
Okay.
one of the hardest things I've ever done.
Really?
Yeah.
So, Crab in the Headlines by director A. Scott.
The tins are basically what the film reel would be kept in back in the 50s for the Queen's coronation.
Right, let's see what it tastes like. Take that one with us.
The presentation, again, I think he's absolutely nailed it.
No, I smashed it, yeah,
Yeah, it looks
definitely.
brilliant.
Looks really good.
Is the biscuit as you wanted it? Is it crunchy enough?
It's not meant to be sort of really rock hard and crispy, and it's not meant to be really soft, so it's got a bit of bite in there. I was expecting the biscuit to be have a bit more crunch.
Yeah, definitely.
And is the panna cotta set how you would like it to be?
Yeah, really soft. The brown crab panna cotta we've got going on here, it's got great flavour. Texture's a little grainy.
Just a touch, yeah.
And then in this crab mix, you've got the crab, the coriander. You put any of these purees in there as well?
I've put a little bit of a nut puree in there, but not
Right.
too much.
Taste the almonds in there big time.
Then you've obviously got this apricot gel, isn't it?
It's a gel, yeah.
And that's got the flavour you want there?
Yeah, definitely. It's not too sweet. Lovely sweetness to it.
Yeah.
So this dish you think is going to be worthy for the Great Britons at the banquet?
Yeah, it's crab. It's one of the nation's favourites, I think. It's a nice treat for them. There's spice and there's sweetness, but there's no real hits of curry.
It's got a rounded dish, but it's just not hitting that coronation mark.
I'd have to give it a 6.
That's where it's going to have to be, 6.
Yeah. How was that, Andrew? Hard, but didn't give anything away, as usual. I was happy with it. Biscuit could have been a bit crispier, but I mean, I did have a bit of a nightmare with it.
Daniel is next to plate up his tribute to the award-winning lifeboat team back home in Caister. He hopes the simple dish will impress with attention to the brief and bold flavours. He's using fishing nets for presentation. Potato risotto is first into the bowl, with poached lobster tail on top, warmed through with garlic and parsley butter and lemon puree.
Looks beautiful.
Got the salmon fire here to keep it really, really Norfolk-centric.
Daniel dresses with lobster bisque emulsion and cheese custard.
Right, Daniel?
Yep.
It says, good luck, Daniel. Caister men never turn back.
Correct.
That's you, yeah?
Exactly.
Caister man.
Looks beautiful. Smells amazing.
Okay, well, the proof is in the pudding. Let's go.
Superb. Lovely.
Do you think that represents the banquet brief?
Definitely, I think it represents my home village, my lifeboat centre. So for me, that does the job.
So that's your potato risotto. You happy with the texture?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Texture of the risotto. It's lovely and creamy. Could do with a bit more seasoning. It's a little bit flat, I think.
The lobster cooked like you wanted it to be cooked?
Yeah, definitely.
You've nailed the cooking of the lobster.
Do you need both the bisque and the cheese?
The sauce and the custard as well adds a different dimension to it.
I've just been happy with a bit, just this. Yeah. There's freshness of lemon there somewhere, but I wouldn't necessarily say there's a lemon puree on there.
Yeah.
Anything you'd change about this dish?
No.
I'm finding it really hard to... I'm finding anything wrong with this dish. A bit of shell. Not good. Rather you than me. Yeah, or Angela. Let's hope there's not.
So if nothing you'd change, you're going to give yourself 10 out of 10.
On the air of caution, I'm going to go 9.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a 7. It's just a bit of shell for me. I've got to mark him down.
Yeah.
Last to plate up is Danny. His starter was marked down for having too many elements. However, he's gone ahead with a salmon and cucumber dish that's just as complex, starting with salmon rillettes.
How did that go, Chef?
Who knows? You like that?
Yeah, mate, it was lovely. Dish of the week so far. I thought it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Danny pipes smoked salmon mousse on top and dresses with pickled cucumber, pickled apple and brioche discs. There are 2 parts to the dish. In a bowl, Danny pipes more salmon mousse and adds 2 types of caviar.
A little bit of luxury for the banquet. Lovely.
The garnishes are edible cucumber flowers, pickled cucumber and apple, brioche discs, smoked salmon crumb and dill oil.
Deep breaths.
The aerated cream cheese frozen in liquid nitrogen is added to both plates. Sous vide salmon fillet finishes the dish and the rillettes sit on top. Cucumber consommé is served in jugs.
You pour the consommé and then you eat one part of the dish and then remove it and go for the other part.
It's a warm consommé, yeah?
Slightly warm, yeah.
What do you think, guys?
I think it's really good. Very technical.
Yeah, very impressive.
Well, let's go and see if it's got the wow factor. Let's go.
I wanted to bring some theatre to this dish. Obviously, you're going to start wondering where the consommé's gone, and natural instincts is going to be wanting to have a little look underneath the plate there.
I think the presentation's very, very neat.
Yeah, definitely. It's Danny's food.
It's Danny's style, it's Danny's food, it's definitely what he does.
Yeah.
So in this is the smoked salmon mousse. That's the texture you wanted?
Yeah.
And flavour-wise, it's smoky enough for you?
Yeah, I'm happy with the smoke on that.
I think it should have more smokiness.
Possibly could be a little bit more though.
And why do you think you needed the brioche?
I wanted a real crunch.
Right, okay.
The brioche is definitely now soft and wet.
Just that little element, would you change anything?
I'm happy with all the element on the top.
I've got another starter.
Put 2 courses in one.
Yeah.
You obviously taste the consommé more in that part.
I find you have a lovely contrast of texture, temperature, flavour.
The cucumber consommé. That's really nice.
That is very nice.
The brief's asking us to push ourselves, think outside the box. I think this hits the brief in that aspect.
I'm going to score this dish a good 8.
I think it could be a 10 if he polished the edges.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
You right, buddy?
Yeah, good.
There we go.
Well done.
I ain't got a clue what she thinks.
I think there's 3 strong dishes again, all banquet worthy.
We've all cooked our socks off.
I really hope I get a good score. Start to peel away from you boys.
We all want to lead, so we're just going to have to see what she likes.
Okay, chefs. So that's the fish course done. Did you feel that was easier than the starter?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to start with you, Andrew, and your crab in the headlines. I love the newsreel tin. I thought it was a really clever and original idea. The crab panna cotta, it had a beautiful texture, beautiful flavour, and absolutely delicious. You soaked your raisins and you soaked those apricots. That really cut through that sort of creaminess of your panna cotta. However, the crab biscuit, although it had great flavour, needed more crunch. As soon as you cut it, you felt it was soggy. I felt the white crab meats had been overpowered a bit with your almond puree. You sort of killed that lovely, unctuous white colour of the crab meat, and it didn't shine through. Now, Daniel, you and your dish, above and beyond. As soon as the dish was put under my nose, the smells, the aromas, you just wanted to eat it. Lobster, although not my favourite seafood, I thought you cooked it beautifully, and I like the potato risotto, and the little cheese and the lobster bisque enhanced that. I think the lemon puree, although I like the idea, I don't think you necessarily needed it. You could have just had a little bit of just lemon zest that would have lifted the whole dish. And presentation for me, in a way, let you down. You felt too crammed into that little dish. You could have really shown it off a little bit more. Danny, your dish, modern tradition. I thought some elements of it were really sublime. Even things like little cucumber flowers. I've never tasted them before. Really delicious. I love the salmon mousse. It was very light. You know, it was a great texture. One of the lightest ones I've ever tasted.
Thank you.
And overall, you delivered a banquet dish. It was theatre on a plate, you know, the 2 elements to it. but maybe there were one or too many elements. You know, you're a bit guilty of that. You know, did you need that dill oil? Did you necessarily need that brioche underneath? Now to the scores. Andrew, I'm going to score you 7 points. Daniel, I'm going to give you a score of 8 points. Danny, I'm going to score you 9 points. Thought it was a great dish, definitely worthy of something going through the banquet, so well done.
Okay.
Chefs, I thought you all elevated your game. Only a couple of points between you. Have a good night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chef. Well done, boys.
Well done, mate. That's a great score.
Thank you.
Good man, good man.
With 2 courses down, Danny leads, with Daniel 1 point behind and Andrew in 3rd place.
I'm absolutely overwhelmed. I can't believe I got a 9 for the fish course. I'm absolutely speechless, really.
Obviously, I'd love to be first, but at the moment I'm second, so it's still not over yet.
Main course is a big day.
To come out on top for once. Yeah, it's okay, I'm building up. I just have to keep going. There's no point in worrying about it. I'll go for it again tomorrow. I've definitely got it in me to catch up the other guys. I'm not going to give up.